the pressure. Take a certain type baller that can handle the pressure. When the game's on the line, who built for the pressure? Can you make the big shots when the game's under pressure?
New York City.
You know the city where we rockin'.
Where we at?
This is Madison Square Garden. We got the best fans watching. Now it's time to get it poppin'. Big moments get made when under pressure. Buildings so electric, plugged in like a Tesla. It's for the city, the squad. They know we all in the Bronx, Queens, Manhattan, Staten, and Brooklyn. The new season where the playoffs start. This the playoff squad. MSG, Madison Square Garden. Sold out traffic over to Midtown. This that fast break, Josh Hart after the rebound. Play of the game, photo Timbs and wealth. I'm about to call a paparazzi man on myself. That Nick Tate, really, now where the love go? I knew you was a spy in the cover, being a bozo. A Nick fan for life, I do a life sentence. You give a take on your squad, that's a light sentence. I'm in my Billy Joe, New York Knicks state of mind. Championship for the city, now it's go time. They wanna know, can we handle the pressure? Take a certain type baller that can handle the pressure. When the game's on the line, who built for the pressure? Can you make the big shots when the game's under pressure?
New York City.
You know the city where we rockin'.
Where we at?
This is Madison Square Garden. We got the best fans watching. Now it's time to get it poppin'.
They already knowing the stakes, let's make it well done. Don't really hold grudges, but we held one from last year. No matter the enemy, they won't last here. Mike Brown got him moving in fast gear. End of the season, but the job ain't done. Send Bodega to the basket while he scream and one. I read the manual, it say JB in the clutch. Coast to coast, if you ain't got the heart, then you in the dust.
In the clutch, you know what's up for the city. It's chip or bust, applying pressure every trip in the garden. Yo, it's a must. Brunson cooking in the fourth, got the handle and poise. Cross you over mid-range, fade, silence the noise. Got the garden going nuts on everything in cat we trust. Total package on the court from shooting threes to slamming dunks. You know the vibe, we keep it gully and live. Knickerbocker basketball, we rep the city with pride.
Come on.
They wanna know, can we handle the pressure? Take a certain type baller that can handle the pressure. When the game's on the line, who built for the pressure? Can you make the big shots when the game's under pressure?
New York City.
You know the city where we rockin'.
Where we at?
This is Madison Square Garden. We got the best fans watching. Now it's time to get it poppin'.
All I hear is New York that, New York this. Nobody run New York but the New York Knicks. We don't care who the opponent, we all in. If the shot not open, screen off for the pick, huh? You know how we coming. The Brunson burner hot like an oven with cat posts. Nobody want it. It's time to bring it home for the city of New York. So bring your A game and leave it all on the court.
When they ask how I deal with the pressure, that's a really good question. I love feeling the tension. That's predictable effort. Now I'm clutch by statistical measure. When the going got tougher, my decisions get better.
That's what you saying.
Knicks fans travel well, fan bases mad as hell. Ain't no YSL, lot of pressure for this bell. Feeling good, it's the best that ever fell. And they say my head is swell, so instead I sell a dwell. Staying locked on assignment. I love to hear the clock when the time ticked. That's my under pressure, I'ma drop them. So you don't even want this. That's my Nick.
They wanna know, can we handle the pressure? Take a certain type baller that can handle the pressure. When the game's on the line, who built for the pressure? Can you make the big shots when the game's under pressure?
New York City.
You know the city where we rockin'.
Where we at?
This is Madison Square Garden. We got the best fans watching. Let's get the city poppin'.
Light it up like 7-5, side talk, camera frame. You would think we won it all. Measure when the banners hang. 33rd jumping, back on the stage repping. Well, you can't tell an opening night from a game 7. Shooting from 40, how we define a stretch 3. Carve up and part blue paint like Red Seas. It's God's here. The choir harmonize while the drums go. Treat the garden like Jesus. Shuttlesworth of Monroe. Celebrity Roby as deep as the bleachers. The line wrapped around the block like it's piece of Suprema. Brunson burner to the left. You don't gotta give us lane. The flame blowing orange. Even the chemistry is gang. Talk to us.
They wanna know, can we handle the pressure? Take a certain type baller that can handle the pressure. When the game's on the line, who built for the pressure? Can you make the big shots when the game's under pressure?
New York City.
You know the city where we rockin'.
Where we at?
This is Madison Square Garden. We got the best fans watching. Now it's time to get it poppin', 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 poppin'.
We are the New York Knicks. We are the New York Knicks. We are the New York Knicks. We are the New York Knicks.
Say go New York, go New York, go. Say go New York, go New York, go. stay clean. I just caught mine off of fanatics in the garden with my hands in the air. We back at it.
Man, I don't know. Okay, I got it. Sorry, guys. I don't have any presets out there, so you just got to catch it how you catch it. It is what it is. But anyway, thank you for tuning in. This is SKF Weekly. You see it. Some people want me to get a new. They tired of the air horns, but that's okay. I give you a little bit. It's all right. It's all right. Anyway, guys, listen, you see it. I am your man, Ron. That is my brother, John. And we have with us once again, I can't tell you how much I enjoy being able to chop it up with this gentleman, but it's nothing like being able to chop it up with a gentleman that we admire and respect on, the moment of Eastern Conference champion New York Knicks playing the Western Conference champion San Antonio Spurs in the NBA Finals, folks. Back to 99. I feel like I'm Prince. We're going back to 1999. Let's go, baby. Thank you for joining us, the one and only Dexter Henry. How you feeling, Dexter?
I'm feeling good. I was telling you guys before, a little tired, but a good tired. Good tired, man. It's been it's just a great time in the city, man. It's just a great time in the city. You've seen the blue and orange everywhere. It's a great time. So I'm feeling good, man. I'm excited. This is it's been a long time coming for Knicks fans, Knicks Nation, all the content creators out there. A lot of us waited a long time for this moment to see this and be around for it. So yeah, I'm just trying to enjoy it. Just trying to enjoy every moment. But I'm good. How you guys doing?
Feeling great, man. Feeling great. How you doing, John? I'm wondering myself.
I'm excited to be here. I figured it out. I finally made it back into the show. I'm here. The perfect time. I'm ready, man. I'm excited.
There you go.
All I could hear all day as I'm walking through Prospect Park today. We were heading over to celebrate Brooklyn. Shout out to Brick, right? We're gonna have a festival's coming up this Thursday, right? Come out and enjoy. We have Sheila E gonna be performing there, which is dope as opening night. But I'm out there working, and so on my walk over to Prospect Park, all I kept seeing is just New York Knicks hat fan, just Knicks hat galore in Brooklyn. So I'm loving how that's looking. I'm loving the view and everybody's support, whether it's true or untrue or real fans or not real fans, doesn't matter. We're hogging up the streets right now, so I'm excited. It's what it is. The banner's up. We good, man. Excited to be here, man.
It's a beautiful thing, man. That's great. That's great. And shout out to all the diehard Knick fans. Shout out to all the fake Knick fans. Come one, come all. Let's go, baby. Yeah, man. It's a fun time. It's definitely it's a great time, man. Oh, I gotta shout him out. Hold on one second, people. I gotta shout out my guy Eddie Allen.
Yeah,
he's from my neighborhood, and he's always been a Spurs fan. I forgot.
We were kids, I remember.
I forgot about that. Oh, this is great. Well, it's gonna be some fun time in the hood, people. We're gonna be talking. Okay,
we're gonna stop highlighting Left right now. No more.
Yeah, get out of here, Left. Your Spurs fandom. Anyway, first off, guys, I always tell you this, once again, we are blessed and highly favored to wake up another day, to be a part of the earth for whatever it is. Don't forget to check on your loved ones, family members, and friends. And don't forget to get yourself checked, because you never know. Things happen all the time. And we run around. We're so busy. We just running from A to Z, and we just not taking care of ourselves. And then we wind up finding something out in the last minute. We don't need any of that. Let's be better about ourselves. Get checked at least twice a year, or maybe 3 times a year. Just it's that time. We got to be better, especially with everything going on in the world. But speaking of health, I brought that up for another reason too. I want to check in on our guy Dexter, because I know he's still in recovery mode. I'm wondering how that's going.
Good, man. We are approaching, let's see, Thursday will be 10 weeks since I had surgery. Everything is, knock on wood, everything is going good on schedule. I'm back to walking. I've been walking without crutches for I guess about 3 weeks now. Because I was using both crutches, and then I hated that. That was sucked. And then I got one crutch, and then they kind of, I'm bearing more weight. So I'm good. So now I'm back to walking a little bit more, moving and handling. Still dealing with some fatigue in it for a bit, but everything is healing fine. It's just getting stronger. If all goes well, I should be out of the boot by the end of this month. So that's kind of the next big step. And then it will be intensifying the rehab, as I'm already starting to increase like the rehab. I'm doing like PT twice a week. So it's been good. Like, and look, I guess part of the good news too is I haven't been in any games since I had surgery, but I will be back in the building for game 3. So
okay, all right.
Yeah, that's a blessing there, man. And but everything's going well, man. Thank you. I appreciate it. A lot of Knicks fans, a lot of people have asked, and I appreciate that. But yeah, man, it's going well. With surgery, you got to be patient. It's taught me even more. I would consider myself a patient person, but this has taught me even more patience because you just got to take it one step at a time. It's a slow process, but when I think of where I was, let's say 8 weeks ago, 2 months ago, yeah, I was still on crutches. I couldn't really put any weight on, so it's so much has happened in that little bit of time. So you just got to keep progressing with it, and it really makes you think about all the athletes that recovered from this injury, because it's one thing to just get confidence to walk right again and and just get back to your mobility, but it's another thing to then go play a sport at a high level. You got to think about the training that goes into that.
That's incredible.
Yeah, so it's truly incredible, and you shouldn't take for granted your mobility. I'll say that. That's another thing I learned. Don't take your mobility is a blessing. When I didn't have it as fluidly, I was like, man. And then the first day, my doctor, my orthopedic surgeon, she was like, okay, like now you're off crutches and you can go walk. Man, it was nice that day. I went and took a walk, and I didn't care. And then I came back and I was really fatigued. But I was so happy to just walk again, just freely just walk somewhere, even though it was slow. It was just, so yeah, man. Thank you for asking.
This was the Achilles, right?
Yeah, it's my Achilles, my left Achilles. Actually,
and I know this is crazy, folks, because
I know what you're gonna say.
If I'm not mistaken, this is the second time this has happened to Dexter. So he's been through it. He's been through it.
And I got to credit Ron, because Ron said to me, I don't remember if I was hosting a show or what show I was on, but you were in the comments, and somebody said to me, Dex, why weren't you at Knicks Twitter Day last year? And if you come next year, you're gonna play. And Ron was like, Ron said this is true. Ron was like, Dex, pretty much he was like, you need to sit your old yourself down.
Don't do it.
He was like, don't do it. You don't want any injuries or anything like that. You need to just commentate on the sidelines or something. And I was like, yeah, Ron is right. And I'll tell you what, I probably would have played, and I haven't really hooped since the first time I tore my Achilles, which was basketball related. I'm definitely not playing. I will come out and support. I will be there with the content. I will come out and support with you guys. I'd love to see everybody. If they do, hopefully Sean is running everything and doing everything again. I'll be out there, but I will not be hooping. So that's it.
It's no worse feeling than realizing when it's time. It's the worst. I feel like it's the worst feeling, because for me, it wasn't that bad, because I progressively just, all right, I'm playing less and less. But I got friends, John and I have mutual friends that they can't hang it up. They smell the game. It's where is it?
You know what's crazy, Ron? I haven't played a competitive game since the first time I tore it. So all I was doing, and I'll still go back to doing it now, I'll play a little bit with my daughter, and I'll just shoot with her. You know what I mean? Like, I've just been that's kind of the extent of me doing it. I don't really do that. I saw somebody in the chat ask me how I injured myself. The long story short is, it was just wear and tear from the first time I tore my Achilles, and I didn't have the surgery, and so it never truly healed correctly. So just walking over time, it was slowly tearing apart again, but lower in my Achilles at the base. And so back in, February, I was walking and noticing I was having some issues walking. This is where Ron says, check your health. Ron is not wrong. And I was having some trouble after we had that second snowstorm pushing off. And I was like, something's not right. And the back of my Achilles had a lot of swelling in it. So I went to my orthopedist, checked it out, had the MRI. And I remember they called me the next day and he was like, yo, we got to get you in a boot immediately, because had you walked a little bit, a couple more weeks, it probably would have completely torn and been really painful. So they caught it in time. I got to get in the boot. And then I did, I could have not done surgery again. But for me, I was like, I'm 43. I still live a pretty active life. My work has me pretty active. And so I was just, and also I was like, yeah, I want to be able to still, get in the court and not dunk on y'all anymore, because my days of doing that are over. Right. But just still play with my daughter and not have it in the back of my mind worrying about it that I would tear it again. So that's what happened. Yeah, but you know what, Ron, you're right. Father time comes for all of us, and I'm fine with hanging it up. I still love basketball. I get to cover it. I'll still shoot around every now and then, but I ain't going hard. We're good.
Yeah. Now listen, man. It's been a good run. That's how
I say. It's been a great run. We're blessed. We're blessed.
Real quick before we get into Knick talk, guys, want to once again say thank you to everybody for always supporting the show, coming out and checking us out, especially being here tonight. I know Monday nights are very obviously always busy in Knick content world, so the fact that you guys are here and those who may catch the replay later, shout out to y'all, replay gang, thank y'all. But real quick, I want to give a quick shout out to our guy with the generous super chat. Thank you. Mr. Hector himself, Latino Sports TV in the building. He says, shout out to the fellas, Ron, John, and Dexter. Let's go, Knicks. Keep killing it. Much love and respect. This has been a long ride and a long journey, but we are here. Shout out to the chat. Shout out to Heck, man.
For real, man.
And also stay tuned to Hector's page, Latino Sports TV, all that good stuff on social media. I believe they've been doing a lot of watch parties. They might be doing some NBA Finals watch parties as well, so definitely check them out. All right. So before we get into any future stuff, we got to look at the past. And this has been an incredible season with a lot of ups and downs. I mean, it's weird because you have the inner belief, that belief system that we're going to be here. But if you would have actually told me we'd be here with how this whole year has went, I'm like, I don't know. I'm like, I don't know if I can see this.
What are you talking about? I was at the start of the season. I was telling you this. We're going to be here. No, I'm kidding.
I was like, I don't know. Maybe we'll see. I mean, we went from so many ups and downs of Knicks, in new offensive and defensive systems, learning each other, people not knowing their roles, some dissension amongst the ranks, the infighting a little bit small, then it came to scapegoating.
Don't just skip over Yabusele.
I'm not. Then skip over that. Personnel issues, just trying to get off of people's contracts and see if we can get somebody that could come in here and actually help the team off the bench. So you went through all of that. And then you went through the time of the Knicks actually starting to play better basketball. However, what we didn't know at the time is, even though the Knicks started playing better basketball, they went on little streaks. They had a nice long streak at one point. We thought we were seeing the best of the Knicks and getting there. We didn't know the best was yet to come. We had no idea that at a certain point in the season, especially in the playoffs, for that matter, that we would start to see the New York Knicks flip a switch and take it to another level and become a team that people are just finding it hard to understand what they're witnessing. They're looking at a team that they're not quite ready to acknowledge because they're like, where did this come from? Is this the same Knicks that we've been used to for the past few years? Is this the same Knicks from earlier in the season? And so just watching all of this progress, watching the firing, this guy got to go, watching the trades, we got to get Giannis in here right now, like watching all of this happen for us to get to this point. New York Knicks having the best point differential in NBA history, not only in the playoffs, but in regular season history in 11-game span, winning 11 in a row, sweeping teams, and then being here finally in the NBA Finals. It's a long time coming. It's an incredible moment. And I just want to give them credit one more time for the New York Knicks for having an incredible season. Yes. So, Dex, I got to start with you. And I know you've been the great thing is that not only, I mean, I know you've been talking about it a lot because you're doing the watch parties, you know, at the studio, and then just looking at these games every night. How do you feel about the road, the journey, and how we got here now? And are you of the mindset that the Knicks that we saw in the playoffs is the best possible New York Knicks team that we can get? You know, like this is what we wanted. This is it.
At a minimum, it's the beginning of the best. I'll say that. Like, who knows? There could be something even higher. But I think what I'll say is, I think for all of us who watch this team, root for this team, cover this team, and to be quite honest, the people who even built this team, I think they believed in this vision. This is what they thought at the beginning of the year. Now, look, I will say this. I thought the Knicks could go to the finals at the beginning of this year. I predicted that before the season. Did I always feel that way during the season? Hell no. Hell no. I'd be lying if I said that. There were just so many ups and downs. I think I'm guilty of this too. I think that sometimes we want progress to be straight, right? Or linear. And it's not. Progress isn't always linear. You know, sometimes it looks like this season. It's up and down. You know, the Knicks had a core, but they had a new coach. A coaching move that I supported, that I liked. I have liked all season long. One of the things I've been defending, I know people have come at me for this, but I've liked the way Mike Brown has coached his team all season long. I've been an absolute fan of the way he's coached his team. I think that mattered to where they got in the journey in the playoffs. I think having guys ready, I think having guys not worn out, I think empowering guys when they're in and out the rotations to stay ready, even younger players. I think all that mattered to where they got now. And I think the biggest thing, and the thing I'll always remember about this year is really going to come down to what happened after games 2 and 3 in Atlanta. It's making the decision to switch to offense. I think Mike Brown also get a credit for switching back his defense in January when things weren't going right during that 2-9 stretch. I think there's not all Knicks fans. There are people who are critical, and I know they love Tibbs. I think people didn't give him enough credit for being malleable, for having learned things over the years when he was coaching under Steve Kerr. His time even in Sacramento and turned him around. Sacramento probably regrets letting him go, but they are the Kings. So, you know, it is what it is. But I think he's learned a lot. I think coaches can grow the way players can grow. And I think coaches' growth also isn't linear. So this journey to me has been really fun to watch because I think all of us, 3 of us here, I don't think any of us would say, yo, and I mean, let's even go to February. You were probably shaky on this. You probably said, I could see it happening, but they got to peak at the right time down the stretch. And then down the stretch, they won 7 games in March in a row, but they played weaker competition. Everybody's like, I don't know about this. Look, here's what I'll say. I don't care what you feel. And I see Wolverine in the chat says all that and fans still aren't happy. If you're not happy right now,
at this point,
go out, breathe some air, enjoy some life. You got to enjoy this right now. You don't know if you'll ever see a run like this so dominant. But I think what it says to me, Ron, to truly answer your question is the beauty of it is how locked in you see the team is. And this is a culmination of all the work they've put in, the adjustments they put in. You got to give credit to the front office and the regime for saying, hey, we could have been comfortable with Tibbs getting us 2 wins from the finals last year and stuck the course. They said, no. We need something else to get us to another level. We need to be more collaborative here. So I think if you're a Knicks fan and a true Knicks fan, you got to be happy. You got to be happy about this. This process has been amazing, but you got to give credit to the players. They also bought in. They believed. They bought into the adjustments. They put in the work. You know, for Cat to go after game 3 and go to Coach Brown and say, you got to change something with the offense. That's one thing for a player of his stature to do it. It's another thing for the coach to be like, okay, you know what? We got to change something here. And then you got to remember the other part of that is you're making the change 3 games into a playoff series. You don't know how that's going to go with all the players. Some players might say, I don't want to do that. We've been doing this all year. This is what got us here. Now, I don't think that happens because they have a damn good leader in Jalen Brunson. He's not going to let that happen. So everybody bought in. and you see what it's done for Mikal Bridges. Mikal Bridges, whew.
Open them up.
I mean, was anybody more maligned than that guy? And he started looking better. He started hitting shots. Like you got to feel good about where they are, and they have a legitimate chance to win. There are fans out there feeling confident. There are fans in our watch parties telling us the Knicks are going to sweep. And here's what I say to that. Who am I to tell you no?
Right.
Like, I watch these games. I'm seeing them play high-level championship basketball. We all here, all the fans in the chat, you guys are smart. You know what championship basketball looks like. And this team, the way they're playing right now, going into this, I've been saying this all along, and some people don't want to give the Knicks credit, and I hate this. I'm glad you asked this question, Ron, about the journey and the path. I hate this. Oh, the Knicks had an easy path to the finals. No. I'm old enough to remember at the beginning of this playoff run when some people were saying, oh, the Knicks drew the Hawks. That's going to be a hard path to the finals because then they got Boston in the second round, and then they'll have Detroit in the second round. And what I say to all of that is, okay, if you want to say that, fine. But let's talk about facts. The Knicks handled their business against the Hawks despite being down 2-1. Mm-hmm. The Celtics did not handle their business against the Sixers, right? Lost to them in 7 games. And then what did the Knicks do to the Sixers? Swept them. Mm-hmm. The Pistons did not handle their business against the Cavs. Lost them in 7 games. What did the Knicks do to the Cavs? Swept them up out of here. So the Knicks did not play with their food. We usually give credit to raising your game in the playoffs. The Knicks have done that. They have dominated. And if they had Celtics in the front of their chest, people will be talking about how dominant this team is and they should be a finals, favorite and all this other stuff. Look, this is not shading the Spurs. I think the Spurs are a damn good team. But this Knicks journey, this is what you say you want from teams. We laud this in sports. Take care of your business in the postseason. Rise. Dominate your teams. Well, they're dominating. So if you're a Knicks fan, you got to love this journey. If you don't, I saw somebody else in the chat said this. If you don't love this journey, you're not a Knicks fan. I kind of agree.
Gotta agree.
I gotta agree. This has been a beautiful journey for me because I think it show us all who love sports that, like I said, the progress isn't linear, and you got to stick with the process sometimes the way the players do. Doesn't mean we haven't been frustrated. Doesn't mean that we shouldn't have expected better.
Right.
Because we all did. We knew this potential was possible. I think we all saw that. We knew the talent was there. This isn't 2 or 3 years ago where you're like, man, we're just happy if they get to the second round. You knew with this team the potential was possible. That's why it's beautiful to see where they are now.
I couldn't have said that better myself. I agree 100% wholeheartedly. And you broke it down the same. We were having conversations about this past Saturday. It's the same. You echoed the same exact sentiments that I did about no matter what the path was in front of the Knicks. I remember what everybody said going into each of these series, and the Knicks were not being highly favored by a lot of people talking about their chances. So the fact that they made it look so easy, can we give kudos? Can we give a shout out to the Knicks? Another thing I said in reference to what you were talking about is that it's one thing, and I think I even talked about this with John on the phone. It's one thing if the Knicks were beating these teams by like 5 points, 6 points in close game. They were destroying these teams. So I don't care how bad the competition is. If you're making them look worse, then, that says a lot. That says a lot. That shows that there is a difference in hierarchy between what that team has accomplished and what they look like at this moment to what the Knicks have accomplished and what the Knicks look like at this moment. So it is what it is, but
yeah,
it is.
John, the good thing about the fact that you're so busy and the dad of the year that we don't get to talk as much. So it's really cool.
Trying to be.
No, it's great. You are. You're trying. You are, bro. It's great that I get to ask you questions because we don't talk as often as we do. So I'm actually generally like, I wonder what John thinks.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering how you feel because we haven't had a chance to really talk about these playoffs in depth, and like how do you feel about just witnessing how the Knicks have not only and this is little Dex can attest to this because we talked about this when I was on his show. I said something about this and people didn't really rock with it. Some people are like, the Knicks is this, the Knicks is this, and I said I believe the Knicks identity is balanced. And I don't think you can ever say that they don't look like a balanced team at this point. Right. They look extremely balanced. So whatever. Anyway, what's your thoughts on what you witnessed, John, so far, and just how they've been playing on the defensive end and the offensive end?
I think they've just been gelling. Like everyone's gelling at this time. They're playing a high IQ style of basketball, unselfish basketball. You're noticing it from the first five to come on the bench to the next group that comes in, the group after that comes in. Even when we were up 30 and he threw in Kolek and you know what I mean? And the closeout crew to close out, the game fours that we had, they were coming in looking gelled and knowing what they needed to do and having good possessions every time down the floor. It was like, oh, even their brand of basketball stepped up. It's like you're starting to see it mature to what we thought it could be. And what I love most is that Brunson, as the captain, has always kept it even keel from the very first game of the season to the very end game of the season. He's always been very consistent with saying, we're here, it's championship or bust. That's always been his MO from the start of the season till now. And he keeps saying it. We win the Eastern Conference Finals. He's like, yeah, we're not done yet. Right. And it's like, that's the leadership that we all been asking for. And it comes literally from a guy who has been sort of written off, right? And to have the history that he has with the Knicks, having his dad be here and just having that history with us, and now being sort of a prodigal son coming back to play point guard of all things, right? This is what New York is synonymous for.
Right.
It's the point guards, you know what I mean? And it's like, wow, you can't script it any better. It's literally a storybook. It could be potentially a storybook ending, and I think it will be the way I'm feeling. So I just love the way this whole thing has matured, and I love that everyone has each other's backs. You know what I mean? Like even in there was some talks about that Mike Brown slipped up about talking about Mitchell Robinson. You know what? I don't think he did. I think what he's saying is that we're going to hold everybody accountable. I think we're going to showcase and say, hey, we're going to be super transparent in here, even though we're not going to go into the weeds of what happened, because, that's for another day. But for us right now, where we are today, yeah, I'm going to let it be known. The injury did not happen in practice. It did not happen during game 4. But you know what? We're here. We're going to deal with it. And we're moving forward. Next man up, sort of mentality, right? And so there was another championship team that also followed that same protocol, right? And so it's just what it is. It should be every championship team's mantra. It's like next man up. We have a team for a reason. It's not just the starting 5. It's a full team, and it's a full team effort that's going to get you there. So I'm excited. I'm all in. I'm locked in, man. You know what I'm saying? So super excited. And like I was about to say, Dex, you could have just dropped the mic and walked away after that. That explanation you hit us with it. But I was like, that's an expensive mic. Leave that alone.
Yeah, I'm not gonna. Yeah. I can't do that. I don't have the funds to replace that easily.
No, I mean, listen, it really is. I think you guys nailed it, and that's really the way that this has all come about, and I think that's the way we should be looking at it. And definitely back to echo Dexter sentiments, we should be enjoying this. This is like, let's not forget who we are. All right, like enjoy it and understand who we are, but let's not forget who we are. This is a Knicks team that has been going through the ups and downs. They've been the laughing stock of the year. I mean, of the league for many years in the past, right? They've been trying to get a level of normalcy in the past 5-6 seasons, but it didn't happen overnight. And let's not act like we the Yankees all of a sudden. Like and I'm talking about the 90s Yankees. Calm down, people. These Yankees these days. Okay. I'm sorry, people. I'm sorry. I know they're going to feel me later. But anyway, like,
listen, we did.
Sorry, John. Sorry. I know, my bad.
We did.
Don't be sorry.
But it's one of those times where we got to be really thankful of where we're at, but we can flex a little bit, but also let's be humble to a certain extent, because we've gone through the ringer a little bit. Ask Clay Anthony early. Sorry, I had to drop it. I love me some Clay Anthony early. It is what it is. So that's great, and I'm glad that we're all feeling hype and feeling the same way about what we're witnessing, because this is an incredible time. But I got to get to what I guess is happening all of a sudden. I think this is the funniest thing about this, and I love it because I think the Knicks do play better. Oh, well, let me say this before I get to that, because when John was saying something, I did also want to say that the other thing that you can point to that you're witnessing from the players is how they're all leaning on Brunson and his demeanor and how he's approaching things. Because when you were bringing that up, because even I was listening to interviews, listening to Kat, listening to Josh Hart. I think there was someone else. It might have been
Macau.
It might have been Macau. And he was talking about, Cap says, we got to keep doing this. We can't take any days off. We can't act like we won something. We haven't done anything yet. And they're talking. They could all have this coming from themselves, but no, they're highlighting and talking about Brunson being the person that's saying this to everyone. That's dope to me. That's
Mike Brown said the same thing.
Yeah, but which is, and they've been doing this all year long, right? Like they've been talking about making sure everybody gets their flowers, uplifting everybody,
right?
And it comes back to a mindset. I think that I'm listening to you say that, Ron, and I think that stuff matters too in the journey that we're talking about. I really do. I think how you approach it. I don't know the moment for everybody when they through this run when they were like, okay, I think this team could win it all. I know what the moment was for me. And the moment for me was game 1 against Cleveland. When they came back and won that game in that fashion, I did. And then after the game, you saw, shout out to Christian Winfield for the Daily News. He had posted the video of Brunson getting on the guys when they're down 22 and like, yo, we did this happen. That I know that's the thing we like to talk about in sports and these rah-rah moments and got the troops on his back. But it's more than that to me. That said to me, I know what happened to us in game 1 last year in the Eastern Conference Finals. Never again. We're not letting that happen again. And it's that moment and that feeling and all that stuff around it is why I believe this team is going to do it. Because I think they understand the mission. I just think they understand the stakes. I think they understand everything is. They understand what the season meant. I know Dolan said championship finals a bust or whatever it might be. It felt like that a lot of the way. There was pressure on Mike Brown to get to the finals. There's pressure on all these players. I think if they didn't get to the finals, there was going to be some changes with this core, and rightfully so. But I think Brunson knew, and I think with his leadership, and I think when you have the other guys saying it, now everybody's, to John's point, everybody's buying in the mindset, and they know that this is the standard. For a long time, the Knicks didn't have a standard. This is the standard. You're going to play, you're going to compete, and when we got to put people away, we're going to put them away. We don't play without food. That is going to be the mantra to me of this run so far. The Knicks haven't played with their food outside of the first 3 games of the first round. They have not played with their food. And the 2 times they lost was by 1 point each. Imagine if they really was locked in and hadn't messed around with all this. So for me, I think that stuff matters so much that everybody is like, no, this is the job. I think Kat right after game 4 was like, we can't wait to get back in the gym and lock in. And I said, oh, these dudes are really locked in right now. Like, they're really locked in. And we have a preview coming out tomorrow with New York Got Game, and I'll give people a tease. Stephen Bondi said to me when we interviewed him for the preview, he's like, yeah, I think, and I'm curious what you guys think about this. He thinks that the Spurs, they were so locked in all year on beating OKC, right? And they beat them in the regular season a bunch of times. They beat them in the NBA Cup on the road to the NBA Cup final. They knock them off here. And you saw the emotion from Wemby. And I'm not somebody that's going to say Wemby shouldn't cry. You do what you feel. I think it's cool if his emotion came out. I think that's how bad he wants to win. I think it's dope. I have no problem with it. But I will say with that being said, and this is Steph's point, the emotion for them to get the Western Conference Championship is different than the Knicks. You saw the Knicks, it was like they're happy. It was just like the NBA Cup. We're happy, job not done.
Right.
The whole vibe around the Knicks is job not done, right? That's the whole vibe. And I think that's good leadership. Look, everybody knows I'm not a Yankee fan. You see my hat. But that used to be the vibe of Derek Jeter and the Yankees on the runs through the 90s. Job isn't done.
Say that one more time. Let's do that one more time.
It pains me to say it, John. It pains me to say it. But that was
how I got him.
But that was the vibe around. No, but that was the vibe about the Yankees, right? Like it was always the championship level visit. That's what I'm talking about when I mean a standard. You have to, even if the Knicks haven't won anything yet, you can't get to winning if you don't set a standard of this is how it's got to be. This is how we're going to work. This is how we're going to attack. This is how we're going to adjust things. And so I think, John, I love you bringing up that point because I really just believe in my heart and soul. I think all those things matter to winning. It seems like something so small. You might think it's just coach speak or player speak. No. I don't care what you do in life. Mindset is everything. Mindset. Right. You have to approach it with the right mindset and the right principles to then execute. And so, yeah, man, it's I love it for this team. I love their mindset of where they're at. I love how they're talking. And I think what's really going to be telling is how they come out in game one, because I think game one is so important. And for their confidence, if they keep this win streak going, they push it to 12. Now, if you're the Spurs, you got to look back and say, we all focused on OKC. This is a juggernaut here in the East. We might have been sleeping.
Monster.
Yeah.
Especially we take game one. Don't let us take game one.
Oh,
it's
man.
a wrap.
And I think, and you know what I think too, guys? And I said that was a turning point to me. I think that the Knicks will be very aware of the fact of what happened in the last game one when they had a 9-day layoff. And I think Brunson's gonna be like, hey, because against this team, this ain't Cleveland. So you can't do what you did in game one against the Cavs and think it's gonna work against Cleveland. Not gonna work. You will lose. There's no James Harden to just walk down. You will lose. So I think they know that, and I think they're going to come out stronger. I just think this team is focused. I'm banking a lot on focus and then execution here is what I'm seeing. I'm liking. And so the way they're talking, I don't think that's just player speak. I think they're all locked in on that. I think everybody's locked in.
Oh, man, I hope that's the case. I feel like they're locked in as well. I mean, I've been, another thing I've been quoting is EPMD albums, like, business as usual. That's how I feel about these Knicks, man. I think this is what I'm seeing. This is how they're giving me that vibe. So this is great. I like some throwback hip hop reference. I appreciate that. So
I got another one for you. No half stepping. There we go.
Half stepping. There you go. And I'll give you guys another one. I've been saying this throughout our watch parties, and I've been saying a quote in this Common lyric, and I'm like, it doesn't take a whole day to recognize sunshine. And the way the Knicks are playing, what you're watching and what you're seeing, I see it. That's what I was saying before. I see it. I know this is championship level basketball. And if they continue to play that 4 more times, I think they can do it.
Yeah. We got a couple super chats. I want to read these real quick, but I before I get to those, I just want to say that I saw a video earlier today. And shame on me for not remembering the person who put it together. Did a dope job of kind of showing the road, to the finals, but just the Knicks versus Spurs road, this season, and them going at each other, and people talking about how the Knicks are underdogs again and all this stuff. And then he really broke down the Knicks defensive effort versus the Spurs, because there was some moments where we had some masterclass moments of how they played the Spurs and really took Castle and Wemby out of the games. But he ended it with the Spurs got next, the Knicks got now, and I thought that was dope. I was like, you know what? Okay, Playboy.
Nice.
Follow. I'm like, okay.
Instant follow.
Yeah. I was like, no, that was dope. Shout out to Crim's dad. A member for 20 months. Appreciate you, Crim's dad. Thank you. Said Knicks in 4, Brunson number 1. Let's go, Knicks. I like it. Ooh, okay. Shout out to Jay Boogie. Thank you for the generous super chat, my guy. Appreciate the track and allow me to play that for the masses as always. He said, shout out to the chat family, still Knicks fans. I'm in the stew cooking this joint called Tim's On. Thanks for the bar. I can run down the Knicks history, bring you back like Dex off the surgery. Oh, hey, he never stops rhyming, y'all. He always working, always working.
Oh, if you get that in the song, J Bugs, you gotta let me know, man. You gotta let me know.
Yeah. And last but not least, shout out to my guy, Knicks Nation. Appreciate you, my brother. He said, do you guys believe the Knicks franchise has become a place where we start calling it a true winning culture and a destination to be? Let's go SKF Army. You know what? That's part of what I'm saying. You just got to give credit to the process. The process, shout out. We took that. Well, we'll take it from Philadelphia, but you got to trust the process and give credit to the process because it didn't happen overnight. And the steps, when you really break it down, I'm not going to rehash it because we did a lot of that on Saturday. I went back and went through the whole when Leon Rose got here and Tibbs and the different steps he made, and then learning each year from watching what the product was, because this is a business and Leon Rose is a businessman. And I think the greatest thing about Leon Rose that I continue to say is the fact that we got somebody. It's not that he was a former agent. I mean, he was the former head of a company. So really understanding how to run a business and what it takes to be successful, understanding, hey, I don't know everything, but let me get people that I can put in place that are going to run it the way it needs to be run. And I'm going to learn from them as we go along. That is phenomenal. And I'm so proud that we got him and that he thinks that way, because you see it every step of the way. And like I said, not to rehash everything, but everything that the Knicks have gone through each season, whatever the Achilles heel is, no pun intended for Dex, whatever it's been, he has tried to have an answer for it. And sometimes the other thing about being a Knicks fan and enjoying what we're witnessing is that sometimes you could be a fan of your team and your team can't fix the problems. You stuck. We stink and we stink. We're gonna stay stinking. So it's really good. I think that's really dope. All right.
Hey, Ron, isn't it something when we first started this show, the way in which we was in the dungeons, like
the
we was
doldrums. I keep forgetting, bro. I don't remember which one it was. Either at the time that we started the show, the Knicks had won 18 games or they won 20. But either way, that's what we were
right there. Yeah, we were looking at either one of those. And what was the craziest part about it all? It was the journey each year. We brought in Randall, and Randall, was a savior for us. Like changed the way in which we were watching basketball and just the thought process around, can this guy actually bring us to a playoff game, brought us to a playoff game that one season. And then we went backwards a little bit. And then we came back when we picked up Tibbs, and it was just the journey itself. Doesn't it feel that much better for us now, knowing where we at today? It's amazing.
It's unbelievable, brother. It's unbelievable. Yeah. I got a little choked up a little bit on Saturday. I was like, man, because I thought what you're saying right now, I was thinking about it. I'm like, man, I knew I believed in this team, but I never thought, I'm a Knicks fan, I'm a Met fan, I'm a Giant fan. I've been heartbroken a lot. So I wasn't expecting to actually be here, but I knew we could get here. Yeah. No, it's incredible, man. It's incredible. And I wouldn't trade it for the world. And that's why I say that I hope everybody, to Dexter's point earlier and to John's point, I hope everybody really appreciates what we're witnessing, because this doesn't happen for everybody. You may want it to happen, but the cards may not be in the table. So, yeah, beautiful, beautiful stuff. So, being that we know that this NBA Finals is kind of like, people like calling it a rematch of the 1999 moment. But I also want to say real quick with regards to that, this is not 1999. That New York Knicks team went up against a 22-year-old and Tim Duncan and the Admiral David Robinson. They had a stacked team. The New York Knicks were actually weren't even really expected to make it to the NBA Finals, but they did. And then once they lost Patrick Ewing in the playoffs, it was like, we got no chance. So I don't like to look at it the same way. I mean, some people are like, oh man, this is different. I don't care what underdog quote you want to say about the Knicks and how the Knicks, in my opinion, are the favorites, but that's quiet as kept. And the Knicks are a true basketball team that is good on both ends. They've knocked on wood. They've got all their weapons. And there's a lot more formidable matchup between these two teams. So I do not look at this the same as 1999. 1999, we were lucky. We were able to get there and squeak into those playoffs off of that Allen Houston bucket. So, I mean, into the final, should I say so? We'll take it for what it was. And good thing is, even though we were overmatched, we still won a game. We didn't get swept. Cavs, Sixers.
Right. Shots to the Cavs. Oh man. Yeah, it's not the same. That was one of the that was just like a Cinderella run. I won't say the Knicks team, that was a crazy year. It was a lockout year. There's a lot going on.
Yeah.
50 games or like back-to-backs in that season. The Knicks underperformed. Jeff Van Gundy could have been on his way out of that year. I mean, I remember that very well. This Knicks team is a legitimate chance to win. I kind of agree with you too. It's crazy they're not the favorites. Crazy is maybe a strong word, but I think could be the favorites here. But I think if you're a Knicks fan or the Knicks, you should like being in this position. You've had a lot of people you had to prove wrong along this way, and now there's one more test. If somebody doesn't think the Knicks, this series is winnable for the Knicks, I think they're wrong. I think you look at everything with the Knicks playing. I think how they played. I don't put too much stock into the regular season or the Cup Finals, but there's certain things you could take out of it that I like for the Knicks. I like this matchup for the Knicks. I think the Knicks wings have something for their speedy guards. Wemby's going to be an issue, but I think the Knicks have things they can throw at Wemby that can cause him some problems. I like that. I just love this matchup for the Knicks. Actually, I do. I have a lot of respect for the Spurs. I think they're a good team. I think they're going to be a problem for many years. But I kind of agree with that person who made that video. I think the Knicks' time is now. I think the Knicks know their time is now. And in 99, I think most Knicks fans, if they were being honest, and I remember that feeling at the time, I was in high school, but I was like, yeah, I'd like to see Knicks win champion. You kind of was just happy to be there. It was a great run. I know I think a lot of people around the team and talking to people around the team, nobody's just happy to be here. I don't think the players are happy to be here. They we have the tools to win and we need to go get it done. So, yeah. Do you want some revenge for 99? Sure. But I think the Knicks have a legitimate shot to win in a way that I don't think they did in 1999. They were just overmatched, especially inside. There's just I was looking at some games from that 99 finals. I was looking at some games, being the basketball junkie that I am, and I was like, man, they really had no chance. But they weren't the Cavs or the Sixers.
There you go.
They showed some fight, I can tell you that. And they had a shot to win game 5. Even at the end. So there you go.
Yep. That's the key. That's what matters. The one thing that we can say that has progressed over the years. Actually, maybe it's always been there. I don't even want to say it progressed because in the 90s, that the Knicks had a never say die attitude. They were always in games. Maybe they didn't win in the end, but they always fought. And that seems to be something that's a Knick tradition. The blue collar, white collar, however you want to look at New York for what it is. The good thing about the Knicks is they always try. At least they historically stayed in games and tried to fight back. So, and I'm glad that this team has picked that same level of play up and that same idea about, approaching basketball games. Oh, look at this. A good question. Got a super chat from Nick Nation says, do you believe we are a more physical team?
So here's what's funny about that. And I would like everybody to think about this. If you would have asked anybody this question after the third Detroit game, okay? The third time played Detroit, first game after the All-Star break, the answer would have been no.
Right?
Absolutely no. But today, we had posted a video I had. Shout out to Carolina Teague. She does a great job covering the Spurs for the Spurfic blog, and she was on with me. And I asked her, as what do you think the Spurs and the Spurs fan base is most concerned with when it comes to the Knicks in this matchup? And you know what she said to me, Ron and John? She said the Knicks physicality. And I was like, and so to Nick Nation's question, great question. I was like, huh. But when you think of what you've watched with this team in the playoffs, right? Don't think about what you saw in February, what you've watched with this team in the playoffs. They have brought the physicality more often than not. I thought pre-NBA Cup and to the NBA Cup, they were doing that at times too. They've evolved to bring in the physicality and controlled physicality, I want to say.
Right.
They've brought it to teams. So I do think the Knicks are the more physical team than the Spurs. I think they've been a more physical team than all the teams they played in the postseason. But yeah, the Spurs have length. They don't have enough length. I think they're more physical. And I think this is where the Knicks have a huge advantage. I think it's their physicality. I think it's the mindset. I think it's the rest. I think all that matters. But yeah, I think they're a more physical team. Because now so much of this depends also on Mitch and what his health concern is. And I do have some concerns about that. But Cat's played more physical and under control. OG's physical, and I think his physicality matters in the matchups where he's going to guard Wemby. I think we're going to see a good amount of that. Josh Hart, we know, plays tough and physical. Even Mikal Bridges, who I would never have described as physical, actually has been going to the rim this postseason. I can't believe it. That's been the most shocking thing to me this whole postseason. The fact that he's actually going to the rim and finishing. Brunson is going to play physical. We know he's a man that stays there and takes charges. So this team is played with a toughness. Toughness isn't just, we like to think of the 90s basketball and Oak was physical and Mason was physical and Ewing and, but toughness also is like a little bit of a mindset. Whereas that, are you going to go in and make the tough shots? Are you going to stand in there and take the charge? Are you going to, switch hard in the rotation to pick up for your man and recover for it? Like those are the things I want to see. And I think the Knicks have been doing all that. Yeah, I think they're a more physical team. But if you would have asked me this could you imagine if I said to me, hey, going up against the Spurs, who's more physical in February? Everybody would have said the Spurs.
Easy. Yeah.
Which shows you can adapt as a team. You can grow as a team. You can learn that you need to be more physical. Maybe some of those losses to the Pistons, who are a very physical team, the Knicks let to look in the mirror and say, hey, man, we're not going to win a damn thing in the playoffs if we don't become more physical. And they've brought the fight to people early because, sorry guys for the long answer, but another thing that impressed me with this Knicks team, games 3 and 4 against Cleveland, particularly game 4, man, because Donovan Mitchell comes out in that game, hits 2 shots, and I'm like, okay, okay, you know what? They're going to show some fight today, and they're going to be here. And boy, that fight was over in about 3 minutes. Because I don't know where the fight went after that. It was gone.
They scored the first 8, and then it was a wrap.
I think it was 8-2 or 9-2. I can't remember.
And he scored like their 8 too.
The Knicks looked like they were the team down 3-0.
Yeah.
And see, to me, that's mindset too, man. Yeah. That's mindset too. That the old Mike Tyson quote: "Everybody's got a plan until they get punched in the face," right?
Right.
And then you saw him get punched in the face in games 3 and 4 to start, and the Knicks were like, no. Then they boat raced them the rest of the way. The mindset is different. That we've seen Knicks teams where they come out 9-2, their star hits a couple shots and then let go of the rope. Nah. That to me that's when something's different. It's not just that they swept, it's how they've swept. It's how they've dealt with the prosperity and the adversity. And that's been really good. That's what I've liked.
I agree.
Perfect.
And I think that the other thing too is and when you were talking about actually going back to what you said about what Stephen Bondi was saying and what you were alluding to, that's how I feel. I don't want to look too far ahead, but I kind of feel like and I don't know if people like Wembanyama is an incredible young talent and he is going to be a staple for years to come, and he's only going to get better as he learns more and more about the game and picking his spots and understanding defenses. I mean, really, when you look at him now, it's like, how can anybody guard this guy? Like it's incredible how he plays and his fluidity at that size. But the thing about it is, when you go back into the history of his journey so far, his young journey, you see that him and Chet Holmgren had a lot of back and forth. Like they were in the same places. And then in the Olympics, you know, Chet and USA won, and Wembanyama in France, they had to take the runner-up. And he had to stand next to Chet and watch Chet get awarded that. And Chet's on OKC, and OKC always has everybody's number. And then it felt like it's not just OKC and Spurs, it's also Chet versus Wemby. There was a lot entwined into that. So I'm bringing that up to say this, and I'm not going to shortchange it and say they don't want to win a championship, but I almost kind of feel like for the Spurs, going back to that, it was about beating OKC and being the best in the West. For the Knicks, it's about winning the championship. And it's a different hunger level because the Knicks have been, it's kind of like every year is a tease. I mean, 4 years ago, the Knicks wanted to win the championship. Don't think they didn't, folks. They did. 3 years ago, they had a good shot, and then we got the injury bug, and everybody and their mama was hurt, right? And that some might look at it. We look at it like, oh, it's a lost season, but you don't know how these Knicks players feel. They might feel cheated because they had a really good squad and felt like they could do some damage. So I just look at it like the Knicks are hungry. The Knicks are all business. A lot of people have been talking. There's so many people on this Knicks team. This is why I think it's different. The hunger level is different. Okay, see, they had their moment. They won last year. They could have repeated, but that level of hunger is not as vibrant as the Knicks level of hunger this year, with everybody talking about Brunson and can he lead a team to a championship? Everybody wondering if OG is a true two-way player. Does he deserve to be on the list and looked at differently? Is Mikal Bridges and his 6 picks that you gave up for him, is he worth it? The biggest did we forget that they were talking about this is the biggest trade bust in Knicks history earlier, a couple months ago? Cat and him being soft and not really being a true New Yorker, and we need to trade him for Wemby because he doesn't fit the what the visual is of what a New York basketball player should be. All of these different things. And then you throw in the coach, Mike Brown, and everybody saying he doesn't really deserve to be the coach. That was a bad hire. That was a panic hire. The Knicks have a lot of hunger and a lot of reasons to prove everybody wrong. So I think they are a very dangerous team, and people really need to watch out, in particular the Spurs. So
yeah, I agree.
Shout out to Tori B. Lotorious. They in. Let's go. She gets that. She's the only one who gets that. You enjoy that, Tori. Thank you for the generous super chat. She says, it was me that got you in the right mindset, Ron. Keep poking your chest out, Knicks fans. We are the hunters. We are the cream that rose to the top. We are the alphas. They have to beat us. Let's effing go, Knicks. I got you. I got you. Tori, listen, I will say you definitely you put the battery back on my back and allowed me to start spreading my wings again. Yeah. So I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Okay. So that being said, guys, Wednesday, NBA Finals, Game 1, 8:30. Oh, and that's another thing for everybody who may not know. All of the games this time around are starting at 8:30. So keep that in mind for your scheduling purposes.
Pre-game's 8, right? All of the pre-game festivities.
That's correct. So unfortunately, with this background, I got to do this again.
We trust you, Ron.
Yeah, this is terrible, man. But anyway, bear with me, folks. This is not pretty, but you get the point. So I want to take a look real quick. We can do a little breakdown of the matchups. As I was telling John before the show started, I probably should have did 1 through 6 because that's really pivotal in this series, considering Dylan Harper is the 6th man. But it is what it is. We're going 1 through 5, folks. And so let me change this real quick, if you don't mind. Bear with me. Get that out of here and go this way. And then we'll go here. All right. So these are the player matchups, folks. We've got at the point guard. Now, this doesn't account for actual defensive matchups. Obviously, you know, these two teams are going to be moving things around. They're going to be switching. We don't know who's going to be. I have a big feeling that they're going to try not to have Wemby on Cat as much. He might have to guard him here and there, but I think they want to move Wemby around and allow him to be free, because if you keep Wemby on Cat, Cat's just going to pull him out the paint, and they don't want that. So we'll see what they do. But either way, first matchup is point guards Jalen Brunson versus De'Aaron Fox. These are playoff stats, folks, and hopefully I was able to change that on all the graphics, but these are all playoff stats. I felt like that's a little bit more indicative of the times now that we've had, you know, this is the NBA Finals, so they've had enough time to really kind of lock into how they're playing currently. So we won't look at regular season numbers because they don't really matter at this point. Jalen Brunson is averaging 26.9. De'Aaron Fox at 16.4 points per game, 2.8 rebounds for Brunson, 4 for De'Aaron Fox, 6.6 assists for Brunson, 5.9 for Fox, 48.6 from the field to 43.5 for Fox, 35% from 3 to 31% for Fox, and then 83.9% from the free throw line to 73% from the free throw line for Fox. I thought he was actually a better free throw shooter than that. That was kind of surprising when I saw that. So just looking at the matchup, you know, who would you guys say gets the nod in this little matchup here?
Dex? Gotta go with Brunson.
Yeah, I'm going Brunson here.
Okay.
In fact, I think in situations, I was going back and looking at some film. I think in situations where if Fox is on Brunson in times, Brunson is going to try to cook him. All this in multiple matchups of their guards, their 3-guard rotation. He's the weakest defender. I just think Brunson's a better scorer. He's a better 3-level scorer. Fox is weak defensively, but I just think Brunson's been more efficient. I think this is a good matchup for him, particularly even more so when Wemby's off the floor. I think there's ways he could hunt Fox. He'll get a lot of good looks from pull-up threes. Yeah, advantage Jalen Brunson for me here.
I hear you. And I guess, John, you agree with that as well.
I didn't even wait for Dex. I was just like Brunson.
He was like Brunson, real quick.
Like, just skip me, bro, because I'm Knicks all the way through this one. So you guys might as well skip me.
I hear you. And you know, the good thing, well, I mean, whatever. It doesn't. I thought, you know, in previous years, Fox would have been a little bit more of a pain for somebody like Brunson because of his speed. But as time has gone on, Fox doesn't seem like the same level of speed demon he used to be. And even in that regard, Brunson being able and the Knicks being able to go up against teams like, you know, Philadelphia, and him having to guard and deal with Maxey kind of really prepares you to go against a really speedy guard. And, you know, you could see that we did a fairly good job of minimizing Maxey's you know, potency when it comes to his offensive game. So
De'Aaron Fox it's a lefty situation right now.
Right?
Well,
yeah.
That's always tricky when you play against lefties.
That's a good point. Next up is Josh Hart versus Stefan Castle. Once again, this is how the matchups work, but this doesn't necessarily mean this is going to be the head-to-head.
Right.
At times, you're going to see Stefan Castle probably guarding Brunson or being flipped to other people, and I definitely believe you're going to see Josh Hart guarding Wembanyama at times. That's how it's going to be. It's going to be all over the place. So, yeah, you know, and it's interesting to see this because, you know, Josh Hart has had a phenomenal regular season, but in the playoffs, he's had some moments, but his overall numbers have took a dip, a really big dip when you look at what he was doing in the regular season in certain aspects. But he's averaging 11.4 points per game in the playoffs to Stefan Castle's 19.2. I mean, young man's been getting it. And shout out to Stefan Castle. He is the nephew of one of our Nick compadres, Hardwill. So definitely dope to see this young man, his journey through college and being in the NBA and going to the NBA Finals. I mean, it's incredible. 8.6 rebounds for Josh Hart, one of the best rebounders, if not the best rebounding guard in the NBA. 4.9 for Stefan Castle. 4.6 assists for Josh Hart to 6.7 for Stefan Castle. 44% from the field for Hart to 48% for Castle, 30% from the 3-point range. Hart took a big dip. He was shooting, 40 plus in the regular season. To 36% for Stephon Castle, 61% from the free throw line for Hart. He's always missing one, so it makes sense. To 81.8% for Stephon Castle. Who do you guys think gets the edge in this matchup? John?
Knicks everything across the board. Listen, I'm giving, let me just say this. Harwell, God bless you, the family. We're all proud of your nephew, but hey, it's the finals, man. I gotta go with my team. I ain't giving no hope for nobody else.
Okay,
New York all the way.
We'll
win in every category. If we win in every category, we win the finals. So
we'll take it. Okay. That's fair. That's how you feel. I'm rocking with you. Dexter.
So for me, here's the thing. I think this matchup is I know, like you said, Ron, it's not like a direct cross match, but I'll put up two areas of concern. You brought up the shooting with Josh Hart, which has not been as good as it was during the regular season. The thing for me with Josh Hart, and I'll say this right now, to me, I've said it every playoff series, he's the biggest X factor for me with the Knicks. If he is aggressive offensively, that means he's not going to hit all his threes, but he's just willing to take it, keep the defense honest, put pressure on the big that they might throw on him. In this case, it's likely going to be Wemby that's going to be guarding him. Put pressure on him, make him work, then I think it's fine. Because I trust Josh Hart's going to do everything. He's going to rebound the ball. He's going to dish well. He's going to give you enough scoring in transition where he could be big. Castle's a handful. I love his energy. I love how he plays. Here's the thing about him. Turns the ball over a lot. Mm-hmm. And that is what I think you got to really, if you can get Castle into mistakes. We saw big turnover games, 11 in game one against the OKC. I think he had 20 in the first two games. If you do that, that's where he can get in trouble. Castle's got a very high ceiling as a player. I'd probably give him a little bit of an edge here just because of what he can do with scoring, but that could be neutralized if he gets wild. This is close. I'm going to give a slight edge to Castle, but this is close because if Josh Hart's hitting his shots or playing like he's supposed to and Castle's turning the ball over, this could flip the other way. But this is why Josh Hart's the X factor. This is why he's the X factor, because this is the one position battle that could really flip. I don't even think it's a big edge. I'm going to have a slight edge to Stephon Castle, but Josh Hart, if he's on his game, does more to impact winning to me than Stephon Castle. Stephon Castle, if he's on his game, could be a great secondary scorer for Wemby. He could play some good defense on Brunson. But I'm giving him, it's the slightest of edges, but I'm giving it to Stephon Castle.
Okay. I'm not mad at you. I'm with both of you if that means anything. I know Josh and I think Stephon Castle's a beast. Okay. Okay. I agree. Next up. I think this is going to be an important one. This is very important to me. John, what do you think here? Because this is, I'll read the numbers real quick for those who might be listening and can't see. This is Mikal Bridges versus Devin Vassell. And Mikal is just had, look, I call him, right place, right time, Bridges, playoff Bridges for a reason. So 14.6 points per game for Mikal versus 13 for Devin Vassell. 3 rebounds to 4.9 rebounds for Vassell. 2.5 assists to 2.7. That's a wash. 58.6% from the field for Mikal to 41% for Vassell. 34% from 3 for Mikal to 35% for Vassell. 100% from the free throw line for Mikal, but he rarely gets a free throw, so that's a skewed number. To 81% for Vassell, who definitely goes to the line a lot more than Mikal would. What say you, Dexter?
So this one for me, and look, this would have been shaky maybe weeks ago, but I'm going with Bridges. Bridges has been so solid. Look at that field goal percentage, man. How good he's been shooting through the playoffs. I like the shot selection. I like the aggressiveness, and he's just a better defensive player. So, look, Bridges' defense through this playoffs has been fantastic, man. Like, really good. You know, he's probably likely getting this. They'll probably put him on. Maybe they put him on Fox. This possibility you could see. But what he's done in shutting down and disrupting other lead guards has been amazing. You saw what he did with Maxey.
Mhm.
So, you know, even at times when he had to get on McCollum, what he was able to do. His defense has been tremendous. So for me, because he's got more of a defensive upside, and I'm seeing him play at a high level, and we have to start talking about Bridges. As shout out to my boy Anthony, he likes to say he's a playoff riser. Yeah, I've seen this man now do it multiple times through the playoffs and step his game up. I also think that this is a series that is tailor-made for him to have a good series. I just think there's going to be a lot of shots in the mid-range. If the Knicks attack right, they do some good things with his action. He's a great cutter. I think this is an advantage, Mikal Bridges here too. Also, the guy's played in the finals already before. I think that matters. Yeah, give me Bridges. Give me Bridges over Vassell here.
Okay.
Yeah.
What you think, John?
Well, I'm gonna have a.
Oh wait, I'm asking you. I know what you're gonna say, but
I'm gonna be legit. Look, I'm gonna take this one serious and say New York Knicks, baby. Woo!
I never
what we talk about here.
Never
what
would
we talk about here. Mikal Bridges.
Okay.
Building bridges between Brooklyn and Manhattan. You know what I mean?
I hear you.
Yeah,
I hear you.
He's here. He spent his time in Brooklyn in order to get here. That's what he is.
And I have a theory. I'm going to share it now. I didn't really bring it up before because I don't want it to be reversed. Like you come up with something and you say something, you think it's positive and you're looking at it in a certain way, then somebody finds the negative in your theory. I feel like the reason why Mikal Bridges has been so effective and plays so well in the playoffs is because he knows that this is coming to the end of his season. And I think he feels like I can turn the gas on now and I don't have to coast because I do feel like he puts forth effort, but for someone who never misses a basketball game, I do think he has a way of playing that allows him to stay in games. You know what I mean? Like I know like he definitely shows effort, but I feel like for a person who plays every game and is always trying to be out there and saves his body, doesn't go too aggressive into the paint, doesn't allow himself to get beat up. I feel like when the playoffs gets here, he's like, the season is almost over. I can go full tilt. Right. I'm just saying, that's my thought. I don't know if it's true, but I'll take it. It works for me.
It shows up in playoff games.
Like really,
last year, this year,
next level in the playoffs. So I don't know, but whatever. I'll take it. Get Viva la call, Viva la McCall.
There you go.
All right. Next up, I think the last matchup is really interesting, but you guys know what it is, but it's interesting. So this one is OG Anunoby versus Julian Champagne. I love that name. This is the power forward matchup. I don't really look at Julian Champagne as a power forward, but I guess it makes sense. In today's game, I guess so. So, 19.7 points per game for OG Anunoby. I mean, really? I mean, hold on. I mean, you got to really respect, and I know OG is taking a lot of flack. I just get on my little soapbox real quick. OG's taking a lot of flack because of the fact that, he just went out there and played and understood his value with his agent, and he wanted a certain number, and the Knicks gave it to him. It's not his fault that he's making $40 million a year, and people didn't know if he was really worthy of that amount. But the fact that OG wanted to go somewhere else, he wanted to be a bigger focal point of the offense, and now he's averaging 19.7 points in the playoffs. Hello. Come on, people. And he's still very young, like 27, 28 years old. Like, oh, man. Anyway, 19.7 points per game to 11 points per game for Julian Champagne. 6.9, almost 7 rebounds to 5.8 for Julian. 2 assists, basically, to 1.5 for Julian. OG has the edge there. 57.7% from the field for OG Anunoby in the playoffs, folks, to 45% for Julian Champagne. 48% from 3 for OG in the playoffs, folks, to 39%, which is really good. Now, by the way, just keep in mind, folks, the Knicks better watch Julian Champagne. Don't forget, this is the same guy that lit us up in one of those games that we were going nuts. Like, this guy's hitting threes from everywhere.
New Year's Eve game.
Yeah, we cannot have that again. And then 84% from the free throw line to 79% from the free throw line for Julian. John, what say you? What do you like in this one?
I'm gonna be a child. I'm just gonna be a child right now. You know, a New York kid, grew up in Brooklyn. You know, it's a fan of John Starks growing up. You know what I mean? Like, loved Anthony Mason. Man, we got OG. We are OGs in this room right now. There's no way we're picking Julian. There's no way.
I hear that,
on, man.
I hear that.
It's not even a contest, man.
Okay.
Not even to mention defensively. This matchup it's definitely like, you know, it's all-star versus a good solid role player. That's really what it is.
And not even
what it is.
Don't even get him with all NBA.
No, say that again. That's
NBA
right. Talk about it, Ron.
Obi.
Oh, I'm bringing you in. Come on.
Right.
Let's
All
be childish
NBA.
here. Come on.
Okay. Dex, how you feel about this matchup?
This is an easy one. Listen, not going to disrespect Julian Champagne, who's been a Brooklyn kid, played at Laughlin. He's been really
Johnny,
good
right?
from 3.
Was
Doing
it
really
Johnny?
good from 3, and also look, the Spurs season really changed when they moved him in the starting lineup over Harrison Barnes. Like, that really turned things around from them. But for me, look, OG's the best two-way player on the Knicks. He is in this series. He's going to be the second best two-way player behind Wemby. He's been the Knicks' most consistent player performer through this season, this playoff run. If you want to say, he was really good before he got hurt. He's just too good. We're not even talking about what he gives you on the defensive end. His shooting is ridiculous. I'm glad he got more rest. I just think he's a better player. This to me is maybe one of the biggest edges, and why OG is maybe your second X factor if you won this series. This is the matchup you expect him to win. I know these guys likely won't be guarding each other, but it's a matchup you expect the Knicks to win. I don't even. This is probably the easiest of every easiest edge in the starting 5.
I would agree. Agree. And then we'll get to the last matchup, and this one, I mean, obviously, it is what it is. And so, all right, whatever. We'll get to it. I ain't going to say nothing.
It is what it is.
It is what it is. Yeah.
Oh, Cat's dominating. I'm not even waiting.
So
he's dominating the young
let me just say,
the rap.
Let me just say that this matchup, some people may give someone the edge, but this can flip. I'm just saying, this is a very tricky one. Okay. Karl Anthony Towns, 16.9. Let me just give him, I'm going to round them off. 17 points per game to Wembanyama's 23 points per game. 10.6 rebounds.
I just got to interrupt. I do not see no 16.9 or 17. You know what I see? I see 28, 30 every game for Cat. You're going to take that young buck on a whole new journey. It's a wrap.
As I said, this could.
I'm jumping off the table, bro.
You definitely, this is the wrong show. This ain't Know the Ledge. I definitely jumped you right out the window.
My bad.
Oh, man.
All right. That's okay. That's fine.
I almost felt like those kids that be in front of the garden talk about, we got this, we got that, we got Cat.
Yeah, it's okay. It's fine. It's fine. 10.6 rebounds to 10.8. They're basically even there. 5.9 assists for Cat, and this is the new thing, which is really important. That's going to be big, to 1.5 for Wemby. Then you got, this is where I think it gets funky, and I like this is interesting. 57% from the field for Cat, 62% for Wemby, which that's nuts, by the way, but you know, it's crazy. But then here we go. 48.9 from 3-point range from Cat. Cat's back, folks. Remember when Cat couldn't shoot a 3? He's back. Okay, it's back. to 37% from Wemby, which is not bad. I mean, 37% from your 7'4" center, it's great.
Yeah, he'll sign for that.
Center shooting 48.9%, and then 89% from the free throw line to Wemby's 89% from the free throw. As I said, it's the style of play, and this is why it's really important in the way these two teams play in the new Knicks, the way they're playing now. Because remember, they got a lot of guys who can go off, but they're playing team-oriented basketball. So it's tough to really, guard these guys. You don't know what you're going to deal with. All right, I said enough. Dex, what do you think about this matchup?
The edge is Wemby because of just what he can do defensively. So good defensively. But, it's funny. I was looking at, people will see this in our preview. We did some film breakdown. I did some film on how the Knicks can attack Wemby. And one of the things is Cat, I think this was in I want to make sure I get my games right, my memory bank. This was in the New Year's Eve game, which the Knicks lost. The Knicks probably should have beat the Spurs 3 times this year. They lost that one. That's where Julian Champagnie went off from 3.
Ridiculous.
But there was a play in that game where Wemby tried to close out on Cat on the 3-point line because he had to respect his shot so much. And Cat put the ball on the floor. Wemby actually caught a bad angle. And instead of forcing Cat to his left, Cat went right. And he dribbled and he absorbed some contact from Wemby and powered his way through. So he was able to do that and then finish. And so there's ways Cat can attack him. And so I want to say that all to say that John, with his point about him getting points, I think there's a couple things Cat can do here. Now, granted, Wemby's going to probably be more guarding Josh Hart because it would allow him to roam. But Cat has to stretch the defense. So him shooting threes, trail threes, looking for threes, also attacking him and playing under control is going to be very important. So I definitely think it's going to be really important. There's a world in which I think Cat can have maybe his best scoring series that we've seen in this out of the playoffs because he's not scored the ball a lot. I think people have looked at Cat and his aggressiveness. I've kind of countered a lot of this the wrong way. It's not about how he's got to put the ball on the floor and always shoot. I don't care about Cat shot attempts as much as some people have. I care about what he does with his touches. That's what's most important. And if he's still a hub and can pass the ball, I think this is a better series for him. It's even more of a facilitator than it was against Cleveland. I also think he can score better. So there's a world in which, like, if we're talking about who's the better player, all-around player, it's Wemby. But it would not shock me, to John's point, if Cat had himself a really good series in this one, because I think he can help space the floor, because he might even see some lineups where he's out there against the non-Wemby minutes and Luke Cornett is out there and Cat can cook him. Cool. There's a world in which I could see this being a really good series for Cat, and it's a tough cover because who you throwing on him? I was looking at some tape too. It's like you're going to see some Champagnie on him.
Oh, Mouse.
Because teams have been doing that. They're going to throw
Mouse in the house.
Yeah, they're going to throw the smaller guys. The difference between Cat now and earlier in the season, when I was critical of Cat because he was out of control and fouling all the time, and now that he's played within himself, and when he gets the ball in the hub and he's going at it, then he can actually finish. Now, Wemby's a smart defensive player. He's the defensive player of the year for a reason. And for people who haven't watched the Spurs, you might not see that, and he can take away half the court. But if Cat uses, this is the word we're bringing up again, his physicality in a smart way, not out of control, the way he's been playing probably late in the season on, then I think it could be a tough matchup. But again, they're not going to put Wemby on him a lot because of that, because they know Cat has more physicality than him. As dope as Wemby is, he still doesn't have that strength. This is why we're talking about OG guarding him. So this can be a good series for Cat if he plays under control, because I think you're going to see sometimes Stephon Castle. They may catch him in switches or put on him. You're going to see Julian Champagnie. You're going to see some Vassell on him. They're going to do that, and teams have dared. Look at what happened against Atlanta when they did that. Now, they didn't have as much guys, but Cat has made them pay either with the pass or with the shot, and I encourage fans to watch that. Stop focusing on him just shooting. Cat has shown you he can also kill you with the pass when guys are cutting. So when the Knicks are moving and they have good ball movement in offense, this could be a Cat series. There's two guys I think could really cook in this series for the Knicks. It's Cat and Mikal, like I said before. I think those guys can really do it. I don't think this has to be a Brunson series. This is the beauty of the Knicks in the way they're playing right now. There's so many different ways they can kill you, right? And, you know, for fans out there who were like, oh, this team has to play one way, they have to do this. It's not about that. It's about being everybody getting involved and doing that. And that's what this team has shown you over the last couple of years. So all the people who were like, you know, you had your fans out there who were like, Brunson is a ball hog and done this. Yeah, I thought that the offense always, I've been saying, needed to be not as heliocentric with Brunson. But you're going to need everybody involved. This was the point. And when you look at how the Knicks have played, when's the last time you heard anybody talk about Brunson being a ball hog? All those people that were saying that, gone.
Out the window.
You haven't seen any. They've been quiet, right? Because the offense evolved, the team evolved. People had to do different things. You're starting to see people looking more at how this team is scoring. Are other people getting involved? Is Cat making passes? So it's funny. I think you'll see some more Cat out of the hub. I do think so. That's why I'm saying, John, I don't think your point is crazy.
Pinch point. He's going to be running on the pitch point. He's going to be high post.
Yeah.
Hey, he's just going to turn, shoot over Penny.
Attack
Wemby if he's on him.
Yeah.
And if they swing the ball like the way they can, I can see him on that second turnaround. Once they go through the rotation of swinging the ball around, all of a sudden catch somebody off. Cat's gonna be that guy. I really feel like he is.
This is why what we were talking about at the top, Ron. This is why the process matters. This is the point I'm making, right? You have to go through this. You have to go through the series. You have to win in different ways. Yeah. Good teams are able to win in different ways. It doesn't have to be one way. That's what the Knicks have shown throughout this postseason. Okay, last series, that wasn't a series you ran the offense a lot through Cat in the pinch post because it couldn't be. The Cavs had a little more length they could throw at you with Allen and Mobley in the starting lineup. So the Knicks adjusted. I think there are going to be points in this game. You're going to see some action in the pinch post. I think there's going to be points in this game. You're going to see Brunson really cook against his team, especially in non-Wemby minutes off of pull-up threes and in the mid-range. There's going to be a lot of stuff there good for Mikal. It plays into some of the Knicks' strength because there's so many different ways they can kill you. Again, this is a very good defensive Spurs team, but I think there's many ways to kill you. So I could see Cat having a big series. I think Cat, I'll put it like this. I think Cat will average more in this series than his 16.9 points per game because I think this is a good matchup for him. But there's also a world in which he still averages about 16 points a game, but maybe he's averaging 7 assists per game. That's the beauty of it. It doesn't have to be one way. And that's a testament of a good team. Look, man, I did an interview recently with Mike Breen, and when Walt Clyde Frazier is telling Mike Breen that the way this team is playing reminds him of the 70 and the 73 Knicks. Look, man, when the OG says that, that's 1, 2 rings. I pay attention. And the ball movement has been good, and it started with everybody. It's not just about moving. It's about the cutting. It's about the off-ball action. It's about the willingness to do that. So for all and there were some idiot fans out there saying Brunson was selfish and all this stuff. How are you selfish when you adjusted the offense and the offense is still clicking? There's no selfishness there. Yeah. Sorry for my long rant.
No, it's great, man. I mean, this is what we want. This is the conversation I want to have. This is the type of conversation that I was looking for. Right on. I wish I could say the eve. I wish it was tomorrow, but it's not the eve. Right before the Game 1 NBA Finals on Wednesday, I want us to have really good, insightful talks. Really, interesting. Some introspective talks as well, because this has been a really interesting season. I mean, we can't. You can't I don't know. This is going to be one, and if the Knicks win, this is going to be, I said this on Saturday, this is going to be one of the best NBA seasons in history for a basketball team. And if the Knicks do, not only if the Knicks win, but if they do it in not dominating fashion, but aggressive fashion, I'll say. I don't want to say dominating because I do not think that it's going to be nowhere near what we saw in those last 2 series. But that doesn't mean that that Knicks won't win in dominating fashion. They could, winning in 4 games, winning in 5 games, that's dominating fashion to me. So you never know what's going to happen.
True.
But I think this is an incredible season, and I just love the opportunity to be able to chop it up with my brother John and have the incredible Dexter Henry here, to have these type of conversations, because as a fan, this is like the ultimate in barbershop talk for me. This is like next level, like, because we loved going to the barbershop and talking about. That's why our spouses and significant others was like, yo, why are you in the barbershop 6-7 hours? You eating dinner over there? What you doing?
Hey, and they're like, yo, Milton barely talks English. What are we talking about?
What I
What we
mean?
doing?
Like, damn. So,
all that talk.
Yeah. That's what prepared me for those marathon 5 and 6 hour No Lead shows on Saturdays, folks. That's the barbershop talk.
Hey, that prepped you well, Ron. Prepped you well.
Well, before we get out of here, I just want to say that this is, once again, it's a special moment for a lot of us as Knicks fans. I don't want to take anything away from any of the new fans that don't really know the struggle, because this is your struggle, right? Can't tell you how to fan. This is you fanning. You, even if you didn't become a Knicks fan until this year, maybe this is your first year being a Knicks fan. You saw the team, you were like, oh, they look okay, and then you started seeing more impact and games winning, and you're like, wow, they're pretty good. I like this team, and the fans are going crazy, and you get lost in the excitement. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Don't act like you've been here for years, though. But anyway, no. But it's fine, man. Everybody's entitled to fan the way they want to fan and enjoy these New York Knicks for what they are and how they represent the city.
Let's just do it safely, man. I've seen some wild stuff.
John is on the same page as me. I was just about
Please.
to say, let's just be smart with our decision making. I said this on Saturday, and I'm probably going to echo this a lot on the next shows until we get through this whole thing, no matter what happens, especially if we win, because New York fans are, how do I say this? I'll say it the PC way, are some of the smartest fans in all of sports. I'm not going to do the we're better than everybody. People love to do that. Look, it is what it is. But they're some of the smartest fans in all of sports. They're passionate. They're also, they understand the game. A lot of us have played the game, and it means something, right? New York is not just called the Mecca of basketball because New York is a hot place to live. And, a lot of people, this is what we did every day. This is what we grew up playing basketball. There's a basketball court like every so often as you walk throughout the city. They're all over the place for a reason. But the point is, don't let the media, don't let the social media and other places get you into thinking you're something that you don't need to be. Knicks win a championship. Oh, it's going to be crazy in New York. They're going to be burning down. No, we don't need to burn down anything. We can have a fun time and enjoy ourselves, but don't do the stupid stuff that other fans do in other places that they don't need to be doing it. Thinking about it like this. Remember where you were when you saw another team's fan doing something crazy? You're like, hey, what are they doing? All right, don't be that fan. That's all I'm saying. Enjoy the moment. Take care of yourselves and take care of others, because the other thing that I want people to understand is, because there's fights that are happening. People are beating up opposing fans out there. People are all just trying to have a good time. Keep the experience fun for people, and think about it like this. If you don't want to think about it from my standpoint or from another fan standpoint, think about it from the little kids that never got to see the New York Knicks win the championship. And you don't want them to, all they want to remember is fans burning stuff up and beating people up and, doing reckless stuff and things that don't need to be done. Enjoy the moment, celebrate the moment, and appreciate the moment. That's all I got.
Well said, Ron. Well said. I think it's important for you to say that with your platform. And look, man, I want to see the city. I'd love to see the Knicks win it at home and close out the series. And I'd love to see people spilling out the Garden and joy in the streets. Joy is what keyword is joy. Not look. There's some things I like seeing the fans outside the Garden. I think it's cool. I think there's some fans that take it a little bit too far. We don't need to climb up the lampposts and on top of the Garden signs and you want to get out in the streets and you want to shut down 7th Avenue, that's cool. I'm with it. You know, what I'd love is everybody to see if the Knicks win this, everybody healthy and happy at the parade. That's what I'm looking forward to. We haven't had a springtime parade in a long time here in New York. I think it will be great. And it's like there's ways we can celebrate and enjoy that night and go into the bars and the restaurants and on the day of the parade and everybody out there and part. It's going to be beautiful if that happens. Don't make it not beautiful. I want to echo Ron's words, and I'm going to probably say this on my platform too. I think it's important we say this with our platforms. It can be beautiful. We can be joyous. We all are united by sports fandom. It's dope, man. Like we don't have to take it to another level. You know, I just saw, I'm a big English Premier League soccer fan, and Arsenal won the title, and in London they had 6 stabbings at their parade today. PSG won Champions League, and all throughout France there were people. Your team winning is not a reason for you to act like a fool. Okay. It's a reason for us to joy and celebrate, and we can hug and be happy and have some drinks responsibly, and all this other stuff is dope. But nah. And here's the thing. One last thing I like to add, Ron. For the Knicks fans out there, if you want to be happy, you want to be on your Knicks high right now, be on your Knicks high. Don't let anybody steal your joy. Stop worrying about what everybody's saying about what you believe in. Just to enjoy it, man. And like Ron said, just enjoy the process. I think sometimes Knicks fans could can really focus a lot on what the national media says. And it's like, why are you doing that? Just focus on the team and enjoy the ride. So yeah.
I agree.
Yeah. Hey, be responsible, man. Hold each other accountable.
Yes.
If you can't hold your liquor, don't drink. Or keep it or leave it at 1.
That's a fact.
That's just the reality.
Discipline. I like it.
Have a little bit more
limits.
discipline. You
know
like
your limits.
The reality is that we don't need everyone out there being, what do they say? You get the bravery comes with the liquor. You know what I mean? Like chill out. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, we all got families. We all want to go home to families. We don't need the cops to wild out. You know what I mean? We definitely don't need that. So we want to enjoy the city. The city is ours if we behave and we do it joyfully. That's what it comes down to.
Absolutely.
I agree.
I mean,
so listen, everyone, this is a fun time. It's a joyous moment. Sit back, take it all in, and get ready. Because Wednesday it starts, and just be prepared for whatever is thrown our way. Just because I know it's gonna be. I hope it doesn't happen, but I want us to be ready to understand it's a part of the game. Because God forbid the Knicks get a loss. Oh boy, what happened? What's this look like? I haven't
seen that in a while.
Just relax. Relax. No matter what happens, relax. It's a long series.
Ron, I got you on speed dial, right? So there's gonna be a lot of that.
Hey, I'm ready, man. I'm ready.
Oh man.
Thank you to everybody out there. Appreciate it for tuning in and showing love. Shout out to the replay gang. We're gonna get out of here. We'll get a little final words. Dex, final words, brother. Thank you for being here. Let us know when's the next show that you got going on. And we'll definitely tune in.
One, thank you for having me as always, guys. An honor to do this with you guys before the finals. Shout out to everybody in the chat that's supporting Still Knicks fans. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, continue to support independent media. Continue to support our independent content creators that are Black and brown. That is so important for us to keep continuously do that. So thank you guys for having me. You guys are always welcome on my platform. Ron has been on with me a couple of times. I love rocking with my fellow Brooklynites, so it's always good. Final thoughts are: look, man, I think the Knicks are going to win this series. I'm predicting Knicks in 6. I want the fans, like we said, to enjoy and be safe. Go to the watch parties, be around your fellow Knicks fans, tune into the post-game shows that we're all doing, support each other. Knicks community is beautiful. This ride has been beautiful and enjoy the ride. But I do just think the Knicks are focused. I do think this is a special time for New York. I think, Ron, you talked about this being one of the best runs in the NBA if they dominate. But I already think like the Knicks winning this in the way they've done, if they continue to play the way they've done, this is going to be one of the best New York sports stories, period, of all time. And if I do get to witness that, that's amazing. We're all blessed. What a time to be alive, right? There's other things we can say that's not great about being alive in this time, but for at least for this with the sports, it's pretty good, right? And I think it will be a great New York sports story for a team that hasn't won in 53 years. I think we all would like to see that. So, you know, we're blessed to be part of the journey and create content around it and discuss it and do good things. But yeah, it's good. As far as stuff we have coming up, for me with New York Got Game, a couple of good things coming up for people. We had some things drop today. I had a good conversation that's out now with Carolina Teague, who I mentioned earlier in the show. She covers the Spurs. A really good conversation with her. We have a preview dropping tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. Myself, Brian Fonseca, Stephen Bondi. And we're also going to look at some film as well, too, in that. Also have a conversation coming up with Langston Galloway. Knicks fans remember Langston Galloway from the days that were a little bit rough. I had a good conversation with him about the finals. That'll be coming out, too. And then also this video essay where I took a look at how the Knicks built this team, going back from the 99 team all the way to now. And I think Knicks fans will like it because it'll take you through some of the highs and the lows and kind of talk about what we're talking about, Ron. You got to appreciate where you're coming. So one of my producers had an idea to do that. And I said, yeah, that'll be good. I think fans would appreciate kind of going through the journey and seeing what's going on. So those are some things we have coming up. And then the watch parties. We do watch parties. We're doing the games 1 and 2. We're actually going to be doing this at a venue for the first time. We're going to be at Magic Hour. That's 45 7th Avenue near the Garden. We'll be at the Rooftop Bar and Lounge. We'll be hosting the show there. We'll still be taking your comments online. So if you can come out, come out. If you can't, we'll be rocking with you online in the comments. I know a lot of you will be in there. Some people I see that are in here in the chat will be there, but I appreciate everybody. Ron, John, I appreciate you guys for always coming on, asking me to come on. When Ron sends a bad signal, I'm always like, yeah. Ron hit me last week. I'm like, yeah, you know what time it is. I'm just honored you guys even want me to talk Knicks before the finals. So, of course, thank you, man.
Appreciate you, man. Always, it's never a question, man. You are someone who really, we look forward to speaking to and enjoying these moments together as fellow fans, and also someone that we can look to and get some really good information from, as well as insights. So, thank you once again, Dex, for always, making yourself available. I know you're very busy, and so the fact that you can make time is always a pleasure.
Anytime, guys.
John, your final words, my brother.
As always, let's get a cup, a New York championship here. We need one. We're ready. We're salivating for it. So let's go. Excited to be here. I'm glad I was able to join you guys today. Look, I'm not gonna be saying looking forward to the next one, because the next one's gonna be at the parade. So
let's
that's
go.
What I'm looking for.
I like that.
You know what I mean?
That energy.
So let's get the energy high. Let's be on it. You know what I mean? Let's celebrate. Stick close to your loved ones. You know what I mean? Stay healthy, stay blessed, and I'll see you guys in the parade, baby. Let's go.
There you go. You heard it here. Listen, guys, you know, one of my pet projects. I love saying how I have pet projects that I never go anywhere with. I have not done anything with regard to this other than saying it on broadcast.
This was a pet project. You made a lot with this.
All right.
About. Stop it. Let's go.
Okay, good job. Yeah, this works.
See what I did?
There you go. And you executed that, Ron.
There you go. Well, the other thing that I was hoping for, but I really should have put a campaign together to get this done, and I apologize about that, because it's something that really could have happened maybe with the proper backing, is I wanted, I did have a really good feeling that the New York Knicks are going to win the championship. And this is, way before we got to this point, months and months ago. And what I wanted was for the Madison Square Garden and the powers that be to think about going down the Canyon of Heroes, but adding a content creator float, right? We know that there's the big content creators that represent the Knicks, in really great ways, and they're the ones that are known and get, a lot of people's eyes know exactly who they are. But I was saying,
For no
wouldn't
reason.
it be great if we could have a content creator float? They could be leading the front of the charge.
Of course. Yeah.
Put me on the back. I'll hang off the windshield, whatever. A wiper. I don't care. It'd be dope.
Can we walk behind the float? I'm cool with that too.
Whatever, you know what I mean? I'll be hanging off the back like a garbage man. I don't care. You know what I mean? Like, I thought that would be really dope. So if anybody out there hears this, a New York Knicks content creator float to be a part of the parade, just saying, it will be dope.
We got to do that.
Ron, I want to say a couple things. I want to say, one, you would not be on the back of the float. That's for sure. You would not be on the back of the float.
My legs would probably be dragging off that joint, but
no. You guys are one of the best. That's why I always rock with you.
Appreciate
so no. It's, but it will be nice. Because I think what you're saying is there's a value in what the Knicks community has had for content creators, and I've watched so many different people do their things in their own way and do it really well. And I personally, I think people don't know this, but like, I enjoy watching it. I enjoy finding different people who are really talented at what they're doing and talking around the Knicks, and then bringing them on the show and having these conversations and coming on your shows. It's been really good to see, because there's a lot of people that have taken it seriously, and like yourself and John, and creating content every week and the work that goes out into it. So I would like to see those people honored too. I think there's different ways to honor people, and I think that would be great because they keep the community together. There's so many people that I see here in the comments of your show that are in my show, that are in other shows that I tap into. Yeah. And so some of these people I've never met. Sometimes I have met some people through comments, and then it's just like, oh, this is beautiful. So I think there's been a way. I think what's been good and dope about this time is we've just had, sometimes it's not always unity. We don't always agree, but we've been able to bring different people together, and there's been different spaces for different voices to be heard. And so I personally would love to see those voices amplified and on the stage, because their journey's been as much as part of it with the Knicks, and even other people like myself in the media. And so, yeah, I would love to see that, man. I think it would be a good idea, whether big or medium or small. I know they can't put everybody on there, but
right, yeah.
Yeah, you if they give me a vote, you and John are absolutely on the list. What are we talking about here?
Well, thank you, Dex. That would be dope, man.
Worst case scenario, I'm riding with our boy Horse, who runs sanitation. So we go at least
that's a smart move. Yeah, just make sure, John, they don't put you doing any cleanup after. You don't want to do that.
No, it's fine. It's cool. It's cool. It's cool.
As long as you're there,
I'm there.
I took the day off, even though I don't know what day it's going to be, but I'm there. Okay.
You told your boss, I already took the day. You didn't know I took the day, but I took the day.
I don't know what day. I mean, I'll be there working, but it won't be like work. Let's put it like that.
100%. I agree. So I just want to say thank you once again to everybody. Y'all know how we give it up. It's a beautiful thing, and don't take it for granted that this is something. Obviously, it's a labor of love. For myself, and John has been with me for every step of the way, and even when he pulls back and has to do daddy duty things and work stuff, and I'm here holding it down, I'm always like, he's right there with me, even if you don't see him. And my guy Jose as well. Like, we've come here, we did this together, and just to be able to be a part of this, witnessing everything that the Knicks are doing and sharing and enjoying these moments, and possibly being there for a championship and celebrating with everybody, you can't make this stuff up. So definitely love it, and I definitely love the fact that we can, have moments where we can have guys on like Dexter, and be, because this is incredible. It's wonderful. It's a great experience. So all that being said, you know what I say, people. Tell a friend who tells a friend who tells another friend. Still Knicks fans. We'll be back again, whether it be on Monday nights for SKF Weekly. Myself, sometimes my brother John. You might even see Jose. You never know. Or on Saturdays at 11:30 for Know the Ledge, as I may help talk you guys off the ledge. And then once in a blue, you guys have talked me off the ledge. So I appreciate y'all. Thank you guys for supporting everything we got going on and everything we do. And when we ever do any new ventures, you guys are there for us as well. Appreciate y'all. You guys know what I'm going to say. The good, the bad, the ups, the downs, and even though we've had a lot of that throughout this franchise and some stuff this year, it can't get much better than what it's doing right now. This is one of those moments you say, yes, that's right. I am still a Knicks fan through it all, baby, because this is the best time. Let me tell you something. They don't want to tell you. Your friends, they envious. They're like, yeah, we'll see. They wish they were Knicks fans.
They want this so bad.
I love it. This is great. Anyway, take care, everybody. Be good out there. And if you can't be good at it. We'll catch y'all. We out of here. Let's go, Knicks, baby. Let's get game one.
Knicks to 6.
New York Knicks. First. Go Knicks.
We can finally, start playing, man. So much talk this whole summer. It's felt like so long because we've had so much to talk about. At times it was been kind of slow, but we've been talking, right? But we've actually had a really good off season for this New York Knicks team, and it's been very active. There's been a lot of stuff going on.
Yeah, Knicks family, we in the building. I am the Objective fan from the Objective Knicks fan channel, and I'm gonna give a big salute to Ron and John from Still Knicks fans.
What's going on, guys?
Hey, Knicks family, I'm Stephanie, aka Blood Sweat, No Sports. We are still Knicks.
What's going on, everybody? It's your girl, Lady in the Chef, from Two Knicks Chick Podcast. Still a Knicks fan.
What's good, party people in the place to be? It's your main man.
What's up, everybody? This is Steve Alash 21 at Two Knicks Chicks Podcast, and I'm still a Knicks fan.
Yo, this is your boy Sim from Nothing But Knicks. Through all the struggles, through all the heartache and pain, ladies and gentlemen, I am still a Knicks fan.
Peace, y'all. This is Apollo Reed from the Garden Knicks crew. And I don't know about y'all, but I'm still a Knicks fan.
I'm still here. We're still here. Still Knicks fans. It's a fandom. It's a lifestyle.